session at 5. We are now reconvene the open session. This is past 6 o'clock, so we can go ahead and start. We have recall, roll call, please.
Marty Brightmeyer.
Marshall Todd.
Greg Dennis. We have a quorum. Thank you. Possible action regarding Sean Kelly. This is for possible action with regards to the closed session. Discussion and possible action regarding Sean Kelly. The board may take action, including but not limited to no action, written warning, suspension, reassignment, modification of duties, or termination of employment. This is for possible action. We went through everything we wanted to go through. Is there any public comment with regards to this process of action regarding Sean Kelly, which is regarding employment? Yes, ma'am. Name and
Katie Sabine,
yes.
owner of property in the area, and my son as well, were witnesses to the incident with Sean.
Talk a little louder because my phones might not pick it up, please.
I just speaking for me, my name's Jamie Sabine
Thank you.
I bought 50 acres out here about a year and a half ago in Calumet Valley, so I've been out here for a little while. My son and I have been up on the property trying to get things cleaned up, get ready to start building my first cabin on the lot. And Mr. Sean Kelly has been continuously cleaning up my property and harassing me, has tried running me off the road. Has physically gotten a little physical with me in this vehicle and has acted aggressively towards me, and I didn't know who it was. I thought maybe it was a lost satellite person at first, but I realized it was the Williams next step, and I just wanted to know why things have been bothering me.
Do you have any proof?
Yes, my son's eyewitness to an incident of him actually trying to run us off the road.
Any further comments? You got your public comment. Mind you, on this, there's so many people want to try to keep it to 3 minutes a person, so I'm going to be picky on this. So you got a minute left because you only were on 2 minutes. So you got a minute left. So no, it's okay. You can keep your minute, but that's it. I'm not going to go
Yeah, no,
past
I've
3.
already put in reports. I filed reports with the Washington County Sheriff's Department as well, so I am on it and I'm going to do due diligence, what I was doing to have somebody stop harassing me. I did not do that there. Harassing the property, I did a lot of money.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Any further public comment? Yes, sir.
Tom Baker, 2200 Right Hand Canyon. I just feel that something needs to be done about this ongoing problem before we end up with lawsuits against the GID. And that would be extremely costly for everyone involved. So that's basically all I want to say right at the moment.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Nicole Black. My response to accusations is, this is one comment that somebody said about Sean. If there are more, those people need to speak up and not have one person say these accusations, because I'm at a loss. I just heard one.
Well, we think we're all somewhat at a loss because accusations have to have the content that proves what the accusations
Agree.
are.
So someone saying,
Let's just confine it to allowing the public to comment,
Thank you.
and then once the public comment is completed, there'll be no more public comment, and then the board can deliberate on what to do on the decide.
Jim Curvan, need your hearing aids, huh? Me too.
I got it turned way up.
Okay,
I just counseled the chair here to just confine this part to the public comment and not him engage in the comments. And then when all the public comment is done, public comment will be over, and then the board will consider this item on the agenda.
I'm following my attorney's orders. Any further public comment? Yes, sir.
David Black, also live up off of Amy. on a positive note, I think the man here, gentleman, is being accused of these things, is doing an amazing job. If you think about what's out here in this valley, you have one person that's been doing everything. One person on the road, one person doing back and forth, one person doing the grading, one person doing all. I think you've been doing an amazing job out with improvements to the roads and everything. And if you think about it, you're gonna have a few problems here and there. Nobody's perfect. There may have been an incident that someone may have had, but I think you've done a wonderful job. I just want to let it be known that you're doing a good job compared to the negative that seems to be out there.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mason Henson, son of Jamie Gubin, and I just want to further state on the incident that happened the day when we did see Sean Huff Kelly, because I was a witness to it. I was in the car when we were driving off the property. He came up pretty aggressively onto our car, and we drove within, mere inches of our truck before stopping, and just acted pretty aggressive about the whole thing, blocking us on the road. And I mean, it doesn't matter if someone's doing a good job or not. I just don't think actions like that are allowed. Should be allowed whatsoever at all. It's complete reckless driving. So amongst more. So I'll do that to say.
Okay, any other comment? Yes, sir. No, you already had your comment, but you got maybe a minute left, that's it.
Yeah, okay. All I want to say is that this organization is not the police department of this valley, and they're not code enforcement. And they shouldn't be out turning people in when they could be working on the roads.
Thank you. Yes, sir, Jim.
Yes, I want to.
Jim Caravan.
Jim Corbin.
Curvin, excuse me, got it wrong.
That's close enough.
Okay.
I want to speak up for Sean. I think he's an excellent employee. Now, there's some gripes here and there, but he's here to take care of the road. I think he's doing a great job. When he gets somebody, he starts training them, and they start coming on. For some reason they leave. I don't know all the reasons behind that, but Sean's a good employee. If I had a business out here, I would hire him. I think he's that good. That's about all I have to say.
Any further comment?
Yeah, I want to say something. My name's Ed Bliss. I live up right hand Canyon. I've known Sean for a long time, ever since he's been out here. He's done good work. His work is really good. I know he drives around and looks at the roads and stuff. I'm not sure what happened with you, but, I don't think the board needs to get rid of or do a whole lot, I just, you're not gonna find anybody better than that man to run the GID. He does a doggone good job of it. The other parts, that's up to the board and stuff, but I just don't see him being that cruel, or how you said it, I'm sorry,
Yeah, well, it's the truth. I don't
Okay.
know that.
I'm not
I
calling
haven't been
you
out
out.
here. I
I'm
don't
just
have
saying.
any core with any of you guys on anything. I'm a new person who's come out here and this is how I treat them.
not call,
Okay.
whatever
I'm just telling
happened. But I would recommend to the board keeping this man around as long as you could.
Yes, ma'am.
Deidre Irwin. I second the fact that Sean has kept up with the roads when nobody else stays employed. Whatever the reason for that, he has been on the job working, coming back right after having surgery last year and jumping right back in. He puts up with a lot of crap, but as far as any county violations that have went on or whatever's going on with that, he is first and foremost a resident of Palomino Valley. And if he chooses to turn in somebody for something, that's his right as a resident. And to try and get on him for that, you gotta weigh that, you know? He lives here. He has to deal with everything. So you can't really penalize him for some of that. He has to deal with county himself for his own property out here. So I think he does a great job, and I think you guys are crazy if you get rid of him.
Thank you. I'll give him one more minute. I'll give him one more
I just had
minute.
a
That's it.
further comment on that. I mean, his job is the road work, and that is true, and I'm sure he does a good job out here for you. There's not a bunch of people to work on the road, is what I'm saying. But the whole part of his job, I mean, catch them up on the property, taking pictures, and I mean, looking at us several times. So I just don't believe any of turning somebody in or being on the property or taking pictures is any concern of someone that's supposed to be strictly working on your guys' road and dealing with those concerns out here in the valley, not concerns that don't involve their job.
Thank you.
And, uh,
Okay,
Ron Gray, County de Mariposa. I'm lucky because I'm not down here in the valley. We don't get any road work up where we're at. But one of the things that I will say in regard to this situation, this is a GID. It is intended and was established for roads. Maintaining our properties is our business, and hopefully we will work together as good neighbors and in good faith. And let's direct our attention to what needs to be done, which is to keep improving the roads and work our way out to the periphery. Because a lot of work has been done down here in the valley, and other places are not being addressed. This GID needs to reestablish itself in its direction. As far as what employees are or not doing, the only thing I can say in regard to Sean is that I've heard no one really speak ill of him, but we all have a bad day. So whatever happened, happened. Let's move on.
okay, I'm gonna bring this back to the board unless there's any further comment. Okay, I'm bringing this back to the board. Thank you very much.
This is for board discussion.
Yeah, I'm getting to there with Mark. Thank you. We had a good closed session. We discussed a lot of things. Can't get into specifics on that because that's a private situation between the board and the employees. I had issues with Sean. I think I got them pretty resolved. My issues are, I want him to think more about what the board needs to do for roads, which is exactly what you said, versus maybe getting into any other things that are involved that upset people. So that's my warning to an individual that needs to think about things. Other than that, I think his management skills need improving. We all need improving in terms of management sometimes. And I think he tries, but he still gets rough on the edges like other trustees have noticed. So what we do from here is what do you think, board? We should,
You can
Mar-
request a motion.
I know, and I'm gonna motion anything. I want Marty's the independent out here looking at both sides, I think.
I am looking at both sides, and I think he can rub people and piss people off, but I also think he can get a lot of work done that a lot of other people can't. He has done a lot of good work, and I believe he can go forward easily taking criticism, and I think he understands where that comes from if it's constructive. I think off the hilt criticism is never constructive. But if it's constructive and has a direction, I say, let's give it. And we're the board, so let's get it directed the way you want to direct.
Nevada, you had a few comments.
No, I agree. I mean, what we talked about in the meeting, I think we should hire another future project manager. He's planning on retiring, and I feel that we should, we're talking 6, 7 months out. So I think we should hire another future project manager, go through the hiring process. And, that they can work their way into the jobs. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thought.
Which is your construction practice? You've noticed.
Absolutely.
People fill up jobs as they get it more and more experience.
Absolutely. I think that would be the best solution for us with the GID board. I don't think, you know, I think that's what we should do is hire somebody that we can transition to his position when he does retire. And that's my stand on it.
Todd?
I think that, based on what we discussed in the meeting, if folks are willing to do those things, I think we can move on.
Yeah,
You may.
I'd like to introduce Will. He's the newest employee to the fleet. And what I can tell you from the last week and a half that he's got great aptitude, great skills, and he could be the one to be trained to take the job.
Thank you. Julie, your turn.
We've heard that John does great road work, so maybe we should put him into that position of doing road work. It sounds like we need a manager who can manage day-to-day operations and keep everybody on track and do things like other people in our community have asked for, like a schedule of work that's going to be happening every week or every month or something like that. I think we need a person who can manage that, complete all those tasks, and Sean can continue doing road work.
Sean, you concur?
I actually, as far as the schedule, we've gone over this many times. If there's the schedule that I've got a schedule here and.
Don't go to the road yet. We're not on that agenda
Exactly.
yet.
And so that's why I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. However, just with the schedule, we've discussed it before. If you put roads on there as a schedule and then you go look at it and there's nothing wrong, you do not grade them. You just can't. So you can't schedule roads because especially the way I've got the system now, it's really hard to do. That's all I can say.
That's for further discussion there.
Well,
Because everybody wants transparency.
Yeah, because there's a pretty narrow issue in front of you, which is
Correct. We have a narrow
not
issue.
to create new management ideas or anything at this juncture. So I think the board discussion has been time for a motion. Not my decision, but
I would think that, I think Sean, I wanted to recognize the fact that the board wanted to talk to him and get a better understanding of where he was, where the board was. I think this is one of the first closed open meetings we've had where we've had honest discussion. And I vented my issues and John did the same. Everybody here got the opportunity to do their thing in a private way. And the end of this, it goes away. Water under the bridge wants to make a determination here. So my thinking is that I want Sean to recognize publicly that well, the board ain't perfect, Sean ain't perfect, we know about that. We've had our discussions and stuff. And he needs to be committed more to doing what maybe the board wants to do in the future. And if you're willing to help, Sean, that's what I want to hear.
Of course, I've always done the best job I can.
Then with that, I'll make a motion. I don't know if I need a warning or what, but, he was warned because he had a closed session. That's nervous enough. I think I'd make a motion to keep Sean on as the manager until such time that we can hire a new one, get a new one trained, and it might be totally different than what we have today because we may not need management for 40 hours a week. We may need a full-time manager that does nothing but 10 hours or 8 hours a week and manages 2 employees that go out and do nothing but road work. So we have then a full complement of 100% time on the road. That's all I can say because I'm getting into a different agenda and it's not agenda. So I would recommend that we take no action under this and thank the, sorry about that.
You sledgehammer did it.
Take no action on this item because I had full venting rights and I did do exactly that with Sean, with the issues I had with him. And I think he understands and go from there. So I motion that we do no action. Any other items? Have a second on this?
Second.
Which one are we gonna use? Todd's or?
No.
Never had it.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further comments, further discussion from the board before we make them?
I would like to put something in your motion, that one of the other board members suggested, which is a probationary period. We've had a discussion about what you want, and in order to move forward, we do a probationary period of 3 months and revisit it.
What would the probation, what are the terms of the probationary period? Just you're on probation and.
To follow the board's guidance.
Yes, follow the board's guidance that we talked about in this closed session.
I would amend that in my motion. And I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're on to authorization of operational oversight. We don't need that because this is nothing happened that's changed. So now we're on to approval of minutes. Item 7, approval of minutes for March 19th, 2026.
Can we go back to number 6, because you just said in the last section that we were going to look for a new operational manager to take Sean's place eventually.
Authorization okay, the board may take action to authorize the board president to temporarily oversee and direct the daily operations of the district, including hiring an interim operations manager for up to 180 days. That's as if we were going to terminate employment. Placing employment ads and reviewing applications for the board to review in the event the operations manager is terminated, voted, placed, or put on administration leave, or otherwise unable to perform operational duties as a result of an action taken prior to this agenda item. And it does come back to one thing. If something happens to the operations manager, is it delineated specifically in our handbook that says the president or someone else can be taken over and do the operations manager?
It does not. That's one of the changes
So
we're
maybe
looking at
that's one
doing.
of the things you want to think about, Robin. And we'll look at that. And the other thing was hiring an interim operations manager. I would just want to get 2 employees that do nothing but operators, do work out in the field, get the roads graded. I've heard this complaint so many times that fine. Get the operations people out on the road, have a guy part-time that manages the operations. It's not that difficult anymore. And under item, if I can go to item, I don't know where it was for the GPS. Which item was that, Robin?
That is number 12.
Number 12. If I could go to, can I go to that, Mark, right now and talk about it a little bit? Because that includes this item, more or less? Or should I just wait for that item?
I think you should just wait. I think this one's,
defined enough that you can either, you can act, you can not act, you can table it, you can, there's a lot of different, those are your options here.
Well,
Act.
shall we make a motion to allow you as the board president to hire an interim operation manager? Maybe not for that time period.
Well, I think if there's an emergency, an interim operations manager is necessary. Something happens, then fine, somebody's gotta take all responsibility. It's gonna be the president, vice president, who's gonna do that in terms of how this operation works.
You'll have to
So-
call an emergency session if that occurs at this time.
Yeah, we'd have to do that. So we'll just, we don't need to continue this. I would say that we're gonna take this off the agenda and rewrite it for a different day.
Okay.
All right? Everybody, public comment? It's not, anybody want any public comment on this? Because I think it was for possible action, so let's have public comment, please. Tom Baker.
Tom Baker, 2200 Right Hand Canyon. I agree with you on having 2 employees out on the roads all the time, working the roads. That's what should be being done. And however you decide to have a manager, whether it's part-time or whether the board takes part of that over or whatever, but I think that's something that has to be done.
Yes, sir.
Your
name, please.
Right Hand Canyon. Hey, it's great to have the blades out on the road and all that. I'm all for that, but you need somebody in the shop. I mean, who's changing the cutting edges? Who's changing the oil? Who's doing, all these other things. I run an excavation business, and I'm telling you, you got to have a mechanic or somebody that does that. Now, that all takes time. So if there's only 2 guys doing it, you can't always just be out on the road laden. You have to take care of the equipment or you'll be buying equipment.
Thank you. You're right. And in the wintertime, we try to get a lot of that done, but sometimes you don't. It's like farm equipment. You work all winter and then all summer you beat it up. So we'll see what happens on that. You're right. Okay.
Shop needs a compressor.
Okay.
It does.
Okay. I understand.
Actually, that's good. Ron Green, from Kaiser Mariposa. My question in regard to this is looking at the budget. Now that we've got Will coming on board, that's a great thing. We got extra manpower to get things done. How are we breaking that down in the funds that we have between the GID that are coming in on a monthly basis, the PERS that's being paid out, and the insurance for each of the employees? We need to figure that out if we're going to start talking about getting management in, because that's going to be taking a whole chunk out of all the budget.
Can I? Wait a minute. It's public comment. I can answer that, but I'm gonna get in trouble. So
No, you can have a
we're
discussion.
going to have an agenda item that will include that. We're not there yet. We're not there yet, and Sean won't be here forever. So we won't have maybe the kind of maintenance people that we have today that's tomorrow. And everything always changes. And as it changes, we need to adapt to it and make decisions based on that. So that's where we're kind of being right now.
You're considering it. That's good.
Yeah, definitely considering. All right, approval of minutes. Did we get there?
Brian.
Brian?
Yeah,
Oh, hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Hey, Brian DeMambro for the record. Are we going to discuss later on in the agenda about the road work and everything?
We have not gone to the road report yet.
Okay, well, I would just like to throw something out. I believe that, I worked in IT for 40 years. And when we're on projects, we have people that are employees. Whether it's, a big service provider like AT&T, or if it's a contractor that is, or a vendor that's providing services for a piece of that. All right. And what we always wind up doing is there's those people who are employees, and then there's those who are contractors. all right, so that are brought in when there's a specific need for a specific period of time. And I'm just wondering if maybe we should think about, when it comes to the manpower that is maintaining the roads, all right, in the GID, that, when the road grading is, when the weather's fine and everything's great, we have a list of contractors that can actually come in and help with that, to have two blades on the road. To have somebody out running the water truck. But in the winter, when it's all nasty and funky, maybe you only need one or two employees that are out there maintaining the equipment and so on. So maybe we should actually look at having a group of contractors, subcontractors, or whatever that we can call in, at the time for a specific rate, for a specific period of time, to do specific pieces of work that are going to be appropriate for how the weather is, what the conditions of the roads are, the amount of moisture in the dirt roads and stuff like that. And then once that's done, they go away. And then they come back if they're available to be called in again.
Your ideas are not bad, and we are looking at that,
Okay,
even though it doesn't look like it.
okay, cool. Cool, it's just kind of,
All right.
So I think at the chair's discretion, we're gonna table item 6 and move it to a future.
We'll change the item on it too. We won't just table it. We need to rewrite the item.
Okay, we'll just table.
Table it then. Thank you. That the right word? All right. Yes, ma'am.
I actually second that motion. He said, I think that's an absolutely awesome idea. It will cut down on the funding. We don't need to spend money to have people sitting on a table all year long, 2 or 3 people that's just something of all the funds for the roads. We can have a lot more paid, and we can have a lot more roads paved out there in a longer period of time. That's exactly what all the warehouses do on a regular basis. Hire people in temps, do what they need to do, put them out, and you don't need somebody there all the time year round. It's kind of a waste.
I do agree, and we have had temps, and we'll probably keep doing that in many ways, to the extent both of you are talking about. It's all budget.
So is having someone do around, kept eating up money and not going to
Yeah. Okay, any more public comment on item 6? Oh, good, none. Then we're on to item 7A, approval of minutes for March 19th, 2026.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the March 19th, 2026 regular meeting.
I second that motion.
Have a motion, a second, any, we have any comment, public comment on minutes? I've never done that, I've never seen the county do that. Okay, public comment on the minutes.
I misspelled Shannon Haynes' name. That will be corrected in the final minutes.
Thank you very much.
She let me
Any
know.
further comment? Hearing none. Motion to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, we're on to item 8A. Review of transaction reports. Angie.
All right, we are on this one here. Transaction report.
They're at the end of your packet.
Oh, they're, yep, the end of the packet. So we received all 3 payments, nothing unusual there. We did have just the 2 payrolls come out on the account as usual, and then on the invoices that were paid, we did have the Amy project shows up this month on the transaction report. So you'll see at the bottom, there's the Sierra Rental Transport, and then the Western Nevada Materials. As well as the payment to Concrete Works for the bridge was also paid. So those were the unusual items that made the output a little higher.
So that bumped it up a little bit in terms of total gross.
Correct.
Okay.
This month is a little higher than usual, but just for those repairs.
All right, so review of transactions, for information only. Review of bills for approval of payment. Have a motion. We'll go public comment on item 8A. Okay, not hearing anything, we'll go to item 8B, review of bills for approval of payment.
All right. So we have just our usual bills to start. We did have a flyers invoice, and as we all know, diesel prices have gone up. It's over $2.40 different for
Gas-
1
gas-
month, just so
gas
everybody
prices?
knows. The
Yeah.
diesel price
Right.
from the last bill to this bill was $2.40 a gallon different.
Wow.
And then we also had the Hobbs repair, and we will have the Q3 payment for pool pack. And then there are a statement for the credit card. There was a credit that was issued from Les Schwab. It was taken on the last payment, so that's why that credit's off to the right. And then we did pay one extra invoice at the bottom that just also needs approval. The check was already sent.
All right, so do you have a motion to pay the bills?
I move that we pay the bills.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion by the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. On to item 8C, net operating funds for road improvement reports. Information only.
All right, that's this one with all the checkerboards on it. And so we have 4.5 months or so left here on this particular report. So it does show that we have about $575,000 that we'll have for the remaining to pay for the August, what we start doing for the new repairs, what you guys decide on next. So in the next meeting. And then on the payments, we are still over estimate by about $32,000 for the year
On what we got?
on what we're getting
collected?
tax collected.
We're over on that.
So we are over. We did have that extra payment, so it is chipping away at that, but we still have a little bit extra. So
For just so everybody understand, we got ad valorem, CTX, and LGTA taxes to when this was set up in 1976. So we do get money, never enough, but we do get some. And on to the next item, Angie. Item B, review and discussion of final budget for fiscal year 26-27, and this is for action. This goes to the state. When it gets approved, it all goes through the process and is delivered to the state as a requirement for state, any public entity submits this to the state for review for financial disclosure. We do audits and give them the book and show what we're doing and everything.
We'll have a
we'll have
final
one
meeting.
more meeting.
The May meeting will be the final
Right,
meeting.
right.
It has to be
And the
advertised.
The
and-
May meeting is a specific date that the state sets up, so we have a specific meeting in May just to approve the board meeting and go from there. Just to approve the
Final.
And the budget. Okay, so
So
we need a motion to approve the final budget for fiscal year 2026-27.
just a couple things to think about before we do finalize, so that when we come back for the May meeting, we have it what we want it to be. We did get a little bit more funds from the ad valorem actual tax as well as the CTX. The state had a couple miscalculations that they did prior. They didn't have some taxes fixed, so we do have a little bit there. But if you are thinking about changing anything, is one of the buckets that we have to have is for salaries and benefits. And so if you are thinking about changing and either hiring or a third employee or changing anything up, hiring seasonal, we need to change those numbers. And then we'll have to take it out of the road maintenance down below. So
we
I,
need to do that before we submit to the state?
yes, we will. Because otherwise remember in, was it
Otherwise we have
February
to
where we had
redo
the
the
meeting?
budget?
We have to send in a new adjusted budget to the state. So we want to have it the same, what we want it to be.
50,000 to personnel?
That's
Is all that good?
your guys' call. That was about what I was calculating for another employee for
Temporary
salary.
personnel, right.
And then you have to take into account, if you're gonna do a temporary, you won't have benefits, but you will, or the PERS.
Well,
So
it depends
you can have it on the
how
temp.
all this road management stuff works out and
Mhm.
as we move forward.
If you'd like, we can put it in the salaries and wages for seasonal. We can increase that portion of the budget a little because that,
Can we change that back to normal or normal wages in, if we have a PERS person too?
Yes, you can
That's
change.
that budget
We can,
items
yeah, you can have the
inclusive of all
one
those
inclusive
items.
of that, because the state doesn't see this detail. They only see salary and wages line item
Mhm.
for one, so we can break it on our
Would you
own.
recommend that we add $50,000 to that line item?
I would-
And adjust the budget accordingly? I make that motion to approve the final budget for fiscal year 2026-27 as amendments.
I second.
Oh, public comment. Well, I made the motion. Public comment, please. Hearing none, we'll go on. Thank you very much. Bring it back to the board.
I seconded it.
And you seconded. Do I need to do the motion again, Mark?
No.
Okay.
I do have a comment. It looks like the state made some pretty significant changes. Do you think 50,000 is enough for a seasonal employee? Or not even a temporary, what I would look at is a part-time employee. And part-time employee wouldn't get PERS, right?
Correct,
And wouldn't get benefits.
correct.
So it would just be a salary, or not salary,
Wages, just wages. So on my estimation, I was saying about 83,000 if you did a full-time salary, but we also, if you look at our estimated for the end of the year this year, it's at 147,000. So if we added 50, you're still probably going to come in under budget there. If right now we're estimating 182 for the salaries. So we should still, 50,000 should be okay.
May I say something?
You may.
So, in the past, any seasonal temporary help, we've always used to have just 25,000 because they truly only work up to 1,000 hours, and so you have to figure out the timing there. You can't go beyond that because then you have to bring in proof.
I was thinking of the possibility, when we bring in, a possible person that needs to learn the management of the system before you decide to exit stage left.
Copy.
Okay. So we have a motion and I have a second. Any further discussion from the board or anywhere else? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries, thank you. Judicial government affairs, item 9, says none. So we'll go on to road reports, presented by Operations Manager Sean Kelly. 10A, operations maintenance reports. Sean.
Okay, so we were able to get quite a few roads graded this month. One of the things we did have an issue with was the wayside elevated tank sprung another leak, and so I had to get that repaired. But it's all fixed now, and we'll be good for a little bit longer anyway, I guess. That's basically it. We hired a new employee, as I said before. Any questions?
How long's that the tank gonna last?
I can't
Because you
say.
fixed it before a couple of times.
I tried to get a new tank, but I was shot down.
It was expensive.
45,000.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Well, but we've had this one, we bought it used in 2007,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's probably pretty rusty. So, anyway, but I'm sure we can patch it again.
Could you work with Robin to see where we are on that, what we need to budget for that new tank? If that's what we need to do, or is that all in the money already?
For capital outlay, I do not have that anymore because it was turned down, so since then and the tank was in town. It was sitting at a yard here, so now it's gonna change because it'll have to be trucked. So
Got it.
shipping be.
Got it. Okay, well, maybe you'll find something for half the price. Good luck. Let's see, where are we? Aggregate Surfacing Program, review and possible approval of proposed program to place aggregate material on sections of Rangeland Road, Right-Hand Canyon, Twin Springs Road, Grass Valley, West Road, Prairie Road, Jack Rabbit Road, and Peak Road. These are roads that, once we put the Class E base on seem to last a lot longer in terms of maintenance headaches. And we've done this with Wilcox going all the way up. We've done it with a lot of roads. And we all know that those roads last a lot longer when they're compacted like that versus just grading dirt roads. So my thinking is, how much do we need to do that?
Well, I've got two things I wanted to talk about. Like this one here is 189,000 to get those roads done. Now, I'm gonna say this and preface it that fuel prices, we wanna wait a little because right now we're probably gonna be at 20% fuel surcharge. And I did not
Is it that
account.
much?
It was, when I used them last month, it was up to 15, I wanna say.
Okay, thank you.
But we can still work that out. And I do still have a little bit in ag surfacing, like 11,000. So that can go towards it.
Think we're okay, Angie?
I think it's 11,000 sounds right.
So
But you would have to,
we're gonna talk
Have
about
this,
the pavement rehab, and so if, with both of those projects, when we get to that other project, we would have 134,000 still left in the account. For road, excuse me, for road maintenance.
Very much.
The one, are we off of item, we're not done with item
No,
10B
yeah,
yet.
I'm just
Let's
giving you
finish
numbers.
item 10B first. So you're saying, and I haven't seen the numbers on
There
it.
would be 323,136 left after the road, after the ag surfacing project.
How much does Angie need to put into the budget for,
I have 189.
right, so that doesn't need to be added to the budget. That's in this year's
Right.
fiscal budget. So we have $575,000 currently estimated left to spend for the roads. So this would come out of that. So 189. So after that project, you would have the 386 roughly. And then the next project would take off another 251.
252.
Yeah, so you're looking, if you want to look at the number, it's on this report right in the middle. So that's what's left for this year,
right?
approximately. As long as we get all our money.
Which we don't know.
Public comment on this?
I have a question,
Yes, ma'am.
for rangeland. Right now, the stuff that's on there, when it gets wet, it gets big clumpy clay under my car, which if you don't get it off right away, it rusts the car. And it also makes it real slippery. So this other stuff that you're talking about, would that change that?
Well, we've done many experiments, and I'm sorry about the long answer, but
Yeah.
we've done many experiments with different, especially magnesium chloride, mag chloride we call it. And sometimes we put too much on the road. Sometimes we make a mistake, like when we did one, the chip seal, we put mag chloride on it, and the mag chloride never seeps through the chip seal that we covered. So it just keeps coming back, and it made the situation worse. So we're aware of our mistakes. And on the parts where Sean didn't have the chip seal and other parts, it's held up extremely well. And I agree with you that, yeah, it is no fun to get the pressure washer out in the middle of a wet day and clean the car off and fix that. But if we don't, the roads don't last at all. They fall apart as quick as can be. So it's a trade-off. We get about 1 week, 5 days a year or something like that. It's really bad. Where, okay, I call it ouzo goozo, but it just sticks to everything, okay? And it's no good for trailers. You gotta wash it off. And it's the same thing in California. You go to Minnesota or any place else, people's cars don't last 10 years because it rusts so quick. It's so bad. And it's the same stuff. It's just put on the paved roads a lot of times and dirt roads. Whether there's a good option or not. Now, Todd has been looking at, there's some chemicals that he's got a friend on.
Sean has a trial going with it.
So we've pretty much come to the conclusion, or I have, that I'm probably not gonna use mag anymore. I'm probably gonna go ahead and do the polymer, but it's just a matter of this product, when it goes down, as long as I don't spray anything on it, except for the polymer right now, the way it looks, it's still gonna stick when it's wet, because it's just the nature of the product. But once it, and it does dry out very fast, and once it dries out, it turns into a concrete-like substance. And then once it sets for the first cycle of rain and driving on, it will, the next time when it dries out, it'll be harder to get that to get super soft. It will actually stay pretty firm for a while. Unless you get a good snow, where the snow stays on it, it'll soak in. But other than that, that's the nature of the Class E, is it does get a little sticky and it does get a little slick. But it works fantastic when it dries.
The really good news about that product is it's not nearly as corrosive as the magnesium chloride.
There is a big difference between the polymer and the mag chloride.
Yeah.
The polymer doesn't rust like you notice the other stuff does. So if we can get switched over to that, yeah, that'll make a huge difference.
By the time I get home, I have most of the road in my yard.
Give it back.
Don't feel bad.
Believe it or not,
It's not just-
one of the
it's
things.
not just your road.
One of the things I've always said about that Class E is it's actually self-healing. So you'll get some potholes and stuff, and you're picking it up on your car. You hit that bump, it drops in, and it actually fills in that hole, and it's so.
You're next, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, I'm just kind of curious why we
Name,
don't.
please, name, Karen.
Oh, Jamie Devine,
Go ahead.
and I'm just kind of curious why we don't use base out here at all.
Well, we don't use what?
Base, it's like more of a rock, it's harder.
You're absolutely right, and it costs twice as much sometimes.
Yeah, class 2, I'm sorry, class 2 base.
It costs a pretty penny then. What are we up to on Class 2? 50?
16.
Yeah, they just had a bump.
And then all of the rock ends up in the ditch.
First of April, yeah.
Okay, now your turn, sir.
I would like to know how this polymer compares to the polymer they used previously called Durabland. They had issues with Durabland. If you read the meeting minutes, you understand that. So how does this compare to Durabland?
Still figuring it out.
No,
It's on a test. It's a different product. Look at the MSDS. That's all you can do and compare.
there is no MSDS published for it.
Well, I can't do anything with that.
So what I'm asking, and the board should listen.
Excuse
please.
me, come on. Okay,
The
we're
board should
got a
listen,
meeting,
please.
thank you.
The GID used a product called Durablend in the past. They used it for multiple years. It turned hard as a rock, hard as concrete. The problem they had with Durablend was you had to scarcify it to get it to grade again. Once you scarcified it, the mag chloride that was underneath in the native soil that was put there previously ended up making a mess. How is this product not going to be the same? That's my question. I haven't heard any kind of scientific experiment you're doing to prove this out. All I've heard is you've tried it and you think it works. That is not sufficient. We don't want to end up with the same mess we had before with Durabland. Okay? And if the board doesn't understand, they need to go read the meeting minutes. And
You
see
say
what,
mixing two different polymers gives you bad results.
no, what I said was the mag chloride that's in the road, and you put the Durablend on top, it forms a nice hard concrete surface. Once you get a pothole in it, you end up bringing the mag chloride up and it turns into a mess. Read the meeting minutes, Greg. Read them.
I've read a few. Sometimes I forget.
2011.
2011, you've been around a while too.
What I don't want to see this board do is make the same mistake that was made 15 years ago.
Can we make this mistake and go ahead with the experiment since it's already being done?
I would like to understand the experiments, please, because I haven't heard any scientific method that he's using. All I've heard is I'm just throwing this stuff on the road and hoping for the best and talking about snow It's just ridiculous.
No, Todd, do you know what the other equipment, the other, mixture was that he was talking about?
I don't, I'm
I
not
don't,
familiar
I don't
with it at
either.
all. Yeah.
I'm at a loss.
So
And,
I remember the Durablend. And the problem was the Durablend was the roads that it got tried on all were mag chloride previously. And they had been mag chloride for years previously. That was way back before Ironwood. And I know exactly where it was. It was on Ironwood because I pulled 20 cars out of the spot on Ironwood when it happened that winter. It was due to Ironwood and Wilcox used to only be mag chloride for years and years and years. We're talking 1990s, early 2000s. That's how they handled the dust. It was just a native ground mag chloride.
Dirt roads.
That's what we did. And it was awesome. They'd mag chloride and me as a teenager, 90 miles an hour, because now that road was hard as a rock. And that's what happened. And it was years. What has been done now, and I don't think it's been properly explained, we're adding the Class E and then doing the polymer to that. Now we've gotten rid of, so it should not be mixing with any old road. The Class E should be on the top. I don't believe there's any road that has any mag chloride on it where this was put. This was put on its own, wasn't it, Sean? So the roads that he tried it on did not have any mag chloride treatment previously. This is so we could see if this worked on its own with the Class E. I know exactly what you're referring to. I know exactly the time period that it happened, and it did. It turned it into, and it was a weird event. All of a sudden, it went from being okay to there was 1.5 feet of mud in like 400-foot stretches, and and then it went away again. It was hard as a rock again.
Right.
Those sections of roads are all those sections of roads except for Wilcox, but Wilcox is now too because when we did the massive drainage improvement on Wilcox, we brought all that material from the sides up. That mag chloride's 2 or 3 feet down now in that road.
Plus the rock you put there.
And then we put the rock on top of that.
But there's been mag chloride been put on since.
Correct. In small doses.
I got a very basic question, you know.
So, but we haven't mixed the two on that one. This is on a different road.
I know, but eventually you will though. If you're going to use this polymer,
well,
eventually you will.
Correct.
I'm just
So
trying to
we have to.
understand what the plan, how you're going to evaluate it.
I think we're seeing if it works on by itself first. And you're right. I don't know if we should mix it. I have to look into it and find out if it. I am new to the board. What, 2 months in?
Yep.
I'm still figuring out where we're at on everything and what's been done and tried, and I'm catching up. And there is more polymers out there now than there used to be.
Yes, there are.
And I know quite a few of them I've used a few of them. Some of them are wonderful. Some of them don't react at all with anything else. So I will look into it and I will find out what we got. And
yes. And honestly, what I'd like to see is the board bring in suppliers that have these polymers into the GID to have discussions about what roads we have out here and what polymers would be appropriate for these roads.
yeah, because there's
So we're
different
not
ones for
just-
different grades of material.
So we're just not throwing darts at a wall.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I understand what you're asking.
Ron Gray, County of Mariposa. Let me chime in on this. I'm a proponent of polymers, but the issue with the Class E plus mag always creates a huge issue. So that's something to be looked into. Sean, when you're doing your reports, my question to you is, what section of road, what length, and what was the spread rate that you put down? Do you remember?
I put 4,000 gallons on a mile road.
Okay, mile road. Okay.
I'm sorry, nope, scratch that, double it. It was 8,000, too low.
And which road was that?
Bacon,
Take
I'm sorry,
north
yeah,
or
the north,
south? North.
on the recycle.
Are you ever doing any compaction tests or anything?
No, we don't do it. I mean, if the road holds, then it holds.
Okay.
we have a fairly decent compaction piece of equipment now here compared to what we used to have.
I remember the old days in the day.
Okay. All right, so are you ready to go on, everybody?
I have one question.
Okay.
Twin Springs Road project, estimate $38,000 crossover to cul-de-sac. I was looking at the Washoe County stuff and we don't have cul-de-sacs here, we have turnarounds. And I believe, in looking, when we were doing the, road easement project, that I believe that we should be doing the turnarounds, not doing them.
That's not a turnaround. The road still goes through. It's not the end of the road.
On Twin Springs,
That's correct.
so there's a continuation of the road? Okay, so you're just using that
As a reference.
a reference?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Well, actually, that leads to another question. Are you doing the turnarounds? Are you grading and,
No. We don't do them.
and why don't we do them and where does it say we
The
don't
past,
do them?
the past operations manager for 15 years, when I came on, said we've never done them. They aren't part of the deal. We do the roads leading to the turnaround. If you look at all of the spots that have anything remotely like one, there's people who've got islands in the middle and they drag them themselves and they take care of them. They maintain them. And there's nobody but one that's ever said anything different.
Okay, Julie?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, just making sure. I know, I'm just making sure. Item 10C.
Well, we got a vote on that.
Yeah, this
Oh, the 180,000?
Yeah, on the 189.
What do you think, guys? We've gotta keep up our dirt roads.
Here are mine. Still on 10B.
So this was for putting the base on.
Putting Class E
on 7.
on 7 roads.
You need to add in the 20% for fuel.
So with
Which we've done.
the change in funding that we're getting from the state.
Correct.
Okay,
And
Yes.
we probably should add the 20 for fuel,
oh,
the
okay.
surcharge.
Oh, good point.
It's still within the budget though.
Yeah,
Again, I still have 11,000 left from the last 2 projects.
But-
It'll be fine.
but let's put it in so that our numbers are,
I
I mean, you can go up if you wanted to
Angie, can
200.
tell me what the numbers will be.
You
and
would-
We can vote on it.
You would be adding, if we add 20%, you're gonna add $37,800 more,
It's not gonna last
and
that
it's
long.
not gonna.
Fuel prices. I don't think it's gonna be up for another 4 months.
Shall we be optimists?
I think we're okay. Personally, I mean, if you added another 10, that would be fine. I don't,
Okay, 10. He just said,
So let's do a
Now-
flat
now-
200,000,
200 copy.
and I'll make a motion to approve the cost of the future road improvement projects for non-asphalt surface roads, for $200,000.
motion, have a second, anybody? Nevada, second. Okay, let's see, further discussion by the board. We brought it back. No more public comment. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. On to unfinished business.
You're on this one.
Oh, darn, I wanted to get through that. Oh, okay. All right.
You're trying.
So I have one more for the 2026 pavement rehabs, for pavement rehab. As everybody can see, I have 4 sections of roads that I would like to, get the chip seal put on and
yes.
help to keep that program going. And I've got approximately 170 tons of basically hot patchwork that we'll do in the valley, and a lot is going to go beyond Right-Hand Canyon to Paiute to repair a lot of that damaged road that we haven't touched in since I've been here.
This has to go out to bid.
Yes, it does. It's gonna have to have a contract.
So it has
And
to
I
go
do
out to
have, I do have a, if it's okay, I've got a contract for you.
bid. Okay, it has to go out to bid.
Why does it, this is
This is a typical thing that we've done for the last every year.
slurry chip seal?
So typical chip seal sections of roads.
All right,
Like we did
this gets back to the thing that just really bugs me. Because we keep throwing money in terms of chip seal on roads. And I get back to the same example every time. Over $10 million on Ironwood, we could have paid the whole thing for less than 4. We gotta figure out what we're doing wrong, and
Yeah, but
I
we
get
didn't
so
have,
frustrated
but
with
we
that.
didn't have the $4.5 million to pay it in the initial.
But you gotta go, it's, when you run a utility, you don't run it on cash all the time. You go to the debt commission, you figure out your long-term plan, you figure out the amortization of what it's gonna take to do things, and you start dealing with things from a much higher level than just cash flow. It doesn't work here anymore. We're getting bigger, things have gotta change, we gotta think about what we're doing. We got the special plan area coming along, we've got all these people moving in, and we need to think about the roads in an entirely different way sometimes, especially the stuff that needs to be paved, not chip sealed.
Oh, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
And I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we
maintain
need to
what we
focus
have.
on that big time with the county, and that's kind of where I was going with some of this stuff.
And that can be done, but in the meantime, we should at least keep what we have and maintain it. I mean, it isn't much either. And Ironwood only has about 1.2. The rest is Amy, Axe Handle, and
You just
Sherrod
did-
Road.
You just did in
Yeah, but we want to get another little coat on that too, to get that thicker.
Oh, see, we're throwing money after money after money. Okay.
Again, this project with the 4 roads at chip seal and all of the patching is 251.94, 47. And then at the end, except for we just I didn't do my math for 200,000, so you gotta add that extra 11 grand. But we were to have, after all this road work is done, 134, well, it'll be down to 124,000 basically, left for road repairs in this fiscal year. And that's just for a few more months, and then we get our whole new budget.
Yeah, we put Band-Aids on everything every year. You're right.
But it still works for them. They're getting better and better every year.
I don't disagree, but there's still Band-Aids. Go ahead, George.
George Post for the record. I would just like to say one thing, that if you ever do decide to pave the road, let's bring them to county standards and give them to the county.
I agree. Oh, you are excellent. Go ahead. You are on my committee now.
No, that discussion's been had, and I think the
boy,
county went like this, and
They're always gonna do that.
they get pretty good
How
patch
can the county do that if you bring it in a subdivision, they bring it to county standards and they give them to the county. So how can the county refuse?
County loves to reject things that aren't they're on private property.
Yeah.
We can get away with that, because you go to Oregon, you go to other places, it's different. Tom,
To give the county the roads, you're gonna have to pay people for their property, because people own to the middle of the roads.
Yep.
And I'm not giving my private property up for nothing. And it'll also take away from people that have just 40 acres. They won't have enough to actually have a buildable lot.
Yes, correct, because every square inch of road is a deeded private easement.
I mean, I own a large section of Right-Hand Canyon, and I own all the way across Whiskey Springs, the whole S-curves there and quite a bit. So you'd be talking, I don't know how many acres it would be, but it'd be several acres. And I'm not interested in giving that up, and I'm also not interested in the county assessing everybody taxes to pave these roads and bring them up, because I don't need a tax lien on my property that will have to be settled at some point in time.
at some point, we're gonna have to work our way out of this hole, George, or Tom, and it's not gonna be pretty. That's all I can say.
No, it's gonna be a fight.
Yeah.
No, but you don't want to do like Kyla De La Plata did, and that's what they ended up
Yeah.
doing. Is they had all
ended
the
up on top. We get to pay for that side and this side.
they got that huge assessment all at wham bam. Here's your paved road,
That's right.
and they didn't like it after it happened.
Okay, we can cut this off. We're getting offline. One more question.
Okay, you're saying you don't wanna chip seal a bunch of these roads.
We did. We've got tons of, we
Okay.
have 14 miles or so.
Okay, also on your agenda here, you're talking about Whiskey Springs from Right Hand Canyon on up.
Yes.
That was a paved road, that was paved back when Rocketine
That's correct.
went there, okay? And it has not been, I mean, about 4 years ago, you took some and patched 1 or 2 holes. But you patched this hole, but there was one here, and you patched this hole.
It's a forever project.
Yes, okay. Now, that, I believe at the time that it was 2 inch of asphalt that they put down. Okay, there's so many holes now that the road's falling apart completely.
And if you patch over holes, they just turn right back into holes.
Yes.
Hold on. May I please?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. My goal on those sections that have large areas of patch, we are gonna actually spray it with tack, and we will do a complete little overlay of 1 inch plus, but right around there. And I've done it for years in Tahoe when I worked up at Placer, and it holds together wonderful. And so you'll have a really decent road when I'm done with it.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been falling apart, and we brought it up before. And
You literally gotta like weave through the potholes.
Well, that's like the road coming in
coming in
here.
here.
But 10 times worse.
All right, guys, we gotta get going here on this thing. We'll be here forever.
I have a question.
Okay.
So instead of doing Chirac, which, I haven't driven it recently, so I don't know, but, and I can see that we have Whiskey Springs from Pyramid to Paiute Creek. Patching.
Oh.
What if we take the money from Chirac and use it to pave, patch, and then pave Whiskey Springs from Right Hand Canyon to Paiute Creek?
Again, it's one of those things that if you don't continue to just get the chip seal on these roads that we haven't done, I think Chirac, I'm sorry, what was the last time it was done?
2022.
In 22, so it's due, because what happens with, okay, everybody's gotta realize, our roads being chip seals, cape seals, they're technically only 3/4 of an inch, if that. And so they do tend to start cracking and separating, and that's where you put this another little 3/8 layer, and it helps to hold that road together for more, like this one was 22, so 4 years basically, right? That's pretty good for how much the money is. It's not very much. When you look at that part of it, Chirac is 22,000. The roads that I talk about getting patched, I believe that we're gonna be able to get about 60, 70 tons throughout the area down low, and we're gonna put about 110 or 100 up beyond Right Hand Canyon to Paiute Creek. And that should give us a good substantial, get that done. And it's really a good bang for the buck.
Only if it has good subgrade.
The problem is that these roads are actually still holding together pretty well. We have areas where we patched last year on Ironwood. Those patches seem to hold pretty good. We're losing a couple in other areas. But again, if we keep up on those sections until we do find the plan that you want to get to, Greg, and spend whatever.
Yeah, okay.
This here just gets us and tidies it up and keeps everybody driving on a decent road that they're used to.
We need to get people home. You're right. I agree with that. Hey, guys. Okay. Yes,
I
ma'am.
just have one more question. Is the point in asking on that at all for the 26th to 27th year? Any work on that at all? I just was curious.
Doesn't show. I'll think so. No.
So I should have seen about that.
Unless they're grading it.
I have a question. When would the Whiskey Springs thing happen? Like, when would it?
Within basic, it's all depending on that we gotta get the contract, I mean, I got the contract, but we gotta get it out there and get bids on it.
Okay.
So it does take a
Good
couple
time.
months to get that done.
Okay, cool, because I just want to make
We're
a
not talking next
suggestion
year.
of, well, I just want to make the suggestion of after school gets out, just so we don't have the bus issue,
Oh,
you know, that's all.
generally speaking, it's usually in between that.
Okay,
This
okay,
usually
cool.
starts about June, July.
Perfect, yeah, perfect,
We're
okay.
losing our control here. Let's get back to where we got to be. We need a motion for how much, Sean, to do this work?
251, 947.
Well, we're gonna put it out for bid. I gotta send it out.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. This is based off of last year's numbers.
Yeah, this is not,
So it's gonna be close.
yeah, you're making a motion to send it out for bid.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
make a motion to send the 2026 pavement rehabilitation chip seal proposal for asphalt surface roads out for bid.
Yes.
We'll need a project manager for that, so we can sign the documents for Peg.
That's you.
Very good. Thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, I second it. We still got a quorum here. 1, 2, 3.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you.
All right, now we are on to 11.
Yes.
Update from trustee Osborne regarding easement project.
All right. I've done a proposed letter to property owners and a right of entry authorization form that I don't know if you can. No. So we need to know if we want to continue forward with this just ourselves, or if you want to send this to the attorney to review and change it or not.
Well, let's look at it this way. The GID trustees can accept or not accept a road for their responsibility. And what was given to the people was you can give access to someone without creating an easement because they own the property. In other words, access to go on a person's property. Or we can wait and see whether or not the documents are put together. I'm not sure we want to do to let them put the documents together if the board isn't going to accept the road.
Well, this was accepted roads.
We've already respected that.
These were accepted roads, and this was just to go out to the property owners on already accepted roads,
We don't
not
need
to.
this on the agenda anymore, then it'll just come to us and the board will take it in.
Okay, so we'll send it out.
Yes.
Nicole Black, Amy Road. Maybe I misread that, but what it reads to me is if one neighbor, one person on your road does not have an easement,
Or doesn't want an easement.
doesn't want an easement, then the GID won't do anything to the road?
No.
That's not,
You get 30 people on
I
the
mean,
road,
that's
one
not-
person kills it.
I've seen it.
It's like I repeated that with you. You guys all that.
I've seen it.
yeah,
Well,
it's like,
it's
I
happened,
don't-
but it has happened because they block your access to get to the rest of the roads.
And they all
Well, I
have
think
to
that's a
agree.
safety.
It just all has to agree. That's in the rule.
Because it's,
Yeah, we gotta
because
keep
it's,
down our neighbors.
it's private deeded easement.
Just a second, sir, go ahead.
I'm gonna need help from you guys. Marty, I know you were wrong. We had a fellow, well, actually, your property is the same way. Half is on one side of Whiskey Springs, half's on the other side, not half, but a good portion of it.
Mhm.
And that happened out on Pirate Creek. Same thing.
I have the same problem on Bascoven. I have the same problem on Bascoven. I have 7 acres on the other side. And Bascoven runs right through my whole property.
Yeah, but see, that happened there. This guy wanted to stop it all.
Yep.
But the GID, Louis Test was the attorney at that time. They fought it, and that's why we're still going through there, and it finally fate went away. And that's back where I'm from. I was here last meeting, and this road on Chieftain, it's been there since Rocketine owned the property. Because Rocketine had I'm still sure you're aware, at the very top of Fisker Trail, they had a lookout there. And this was armed guards when they were doing the rocket testing. And so that road, Chieftain, was used as one of the primary roads for this valley way, way back. But then when it changed hands and they wanted to accept property into the road work, since it's like this the trail is, and it's called rural property, they wouldn't accept it. But the road leading to it, Chieftain, the main access road, the one I live on, except for one little hump, is as flat as this floor right here. And so it was disapproved, not approved, way back when, because they said that they weren't going to accept any roads in Monte Cristo subdivision. Well, we're still, right below us, the one house on the right-hand side, of the lower side of Chieftain, is still rural property, like I am. I'm on the left-hand side as you're going east. And then right below that is what everybody else is, you know what I mean, rural, whatever it is.
Can I make a suggestion? You've got everybody lost, because
Do I?
not everybody's familiar
I
with
bet I don't
what
have
you're
Marty.
familiar with. And I know Marty does, so talk to Marty afterwards.
Well, I want to
and we'll
talk to the
get-
board before I leave.
We can
Is that
deal with it.
I went to the problem and the expense to go through the hoops to get that road approved. And when Larry Johnson was at the head of this board, before Sean's time, Jim was still here.
I was too.
Okay, well, you were there. My road, our road, everybody's road, Chieftain, was accepted from Vista Trail to the corner of Pasture View. It was accepted at a meeting.
Yes.
Yes, and you should be getting this in the mail shortly to
Oh.
do a right of entry so that we can start doing maintenance on your road.
I guess why I'm making such a fuss is because someone brought up the point. Right now, my neighbor Joe Greenstein, who would have been here tonight, except he had business in Houston, he owns, from the lower part of the road, he probably owns two-thirds of it. And then I own a fairly good amount on the upper side from Vista coming back this way. What if, and then there's one person on the corner of Pasture View and Chieftain that nobody has ever been able to get a hold of. We tried contacting them by letter, you know, we just haven't had, so they can stop the whole thing. That's what I don't think that's right.
I'm not an expert at easements, but I know if somebody doesn't want you on the property, they got the right.
I'm hoping the attorney here is listening to all this and after giving it some thought, can come up with an idea. Because it's punishing a lot of good people that are paying damn good taxes. Why? We can't have our road done. We're not asking for anything more than the rest of everybody else in here has.
I'm just curious, excuse me, I see that, Julie, you said, your property lies within a section of Palomino Valley that does not appear to have the proper easements granted to the GID for us to provide maintenance to your road. Does that mean that that what Kathy has done, all of her research, they came back that she was correct?
No, we
No.
don't have the results yet.
Oh, okay, because
We don't
that's
have the
almost like when
results.
it appears. Okay, just asking.
Which is, I was gonna ask Mr. Forsberg, because he has contacted a title company that
Right.
is going to be doing a
Title.
project for us, yes.
Okay.
And I don't know what the status of
Okay,
that
I
is.
just,
I have not, it's not complete.
Okay.
okay, that's when I see it, it doesn't appear, I just assume that's why, but no problem.
The road was
Thank you.
surveyed and approved before they approved the road into the system.
Yes.
Okay,
And
your 3 minutes is up, sir.
Yes.
Way past
Oh, I
3
know,
minutes.
I know.
So I gotta say, we're done. Okay, let's go on, please.
And could I get your name again?
Okay.
I have one question.
Charles Yeager.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Ron Gray, County of Mariposa. This particular issue is something that Robin has been trying to help me with up on top, because we have people acting as though that mountain range up there is a playground. And I'm getting tired of fixing the road myself and having NV Energy come up, tear it up when they bring big trucks up the transformers and what have you. Plus, we've got Johnny General Public from Spanish Springs and lower end of Sparks coming out to RTV. I've already put in the request to have it put on the agenda to have signs out in Canto Drive or Court, excuse me, as well as Calle de Plata already has Washoe County signs on it that say no outlet, meaning there is no road coming off into this side of the valley from our property. I've got people leaving beer bottles, seats from vehicles and everything else up there. And I want to put up a fence to shut down that road and that traffic. I want to know that there is a legal standard that allows us to do that.
I can't tell you. I honestly can't tell you.
And it's not our road. We
It's
do
not
not
a road.
maintain it anyway.
I'm sorry, but I can't get into that.
And
I
there's the
understand.
problem. We're not a part of the GID, yet we are part of the GID. And that's a legal issue that started with this.
And you can opt out.
It's not about opting out.
Okay.
It's about using, we've already been pulled into a system. We're paying the special assessment over on Calle de Plata, and then adding in over on this side, we get nada. I'm not worried about the road. I can take care of that part. What I am irritated with is this easement issue and who has access. Is it open to the public? And if
Is
it's
there
not open to the public, we need signs that say so.
is there BLM access beyond?
No, there's
Then
no
that's-
BLM access on this
That's your
entire
answer
land.
right there. Then it's all private. Then you can absolutely sign it that says no BLM act. That's what we do down on our roads.
Okay, well,
We say there's no BLM access through this private property, and that's it. And
if
then
we
from
mount
there you
si-
can have
if we
them.
mount signs, we'll mount signs, because I've got a couple.
Because you have,
neighbors that
yeah,
do.
because the only time I know of, and I may be wrong, I don't know all the different rules, but if there's BLM access, and then that's where you start running into the problem of being able to
It
close off
sounds like
something.
you've got somebody that
Oh,
knows
Marty
about this.
knows his business. That's good.
Pick his brain cells,
I
please.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. On to 11B, continuation of discussion regarding possible locations of road signs for public awareness of outdoors.
I have located positions.
Thanks, Marty.
I unfortunately lost her number,
Oh, no.
but I would like to get your number again, and this week we can go take a look. I have spots located, and we can get them all figured out, and then we'll get with Sean and get it in
We
the.
said 2 or 3.
Well, I believe we said
2? 2 signs,
Two.
okay.
She's got the signs.
All right, very good.
I would like to suggest that, putting the signs where the GID signs are on Ironwood and Whiskey Springs and just go past them.
That's basically what I did. Is I'm going to put you up on the hill behind our signs on Ironwood, so you get a nice visible spot.
I'm not sure.
It,
up on the hill.
I could show you. There's a little slope behind the existing sign, and there's a little flat spot right there, right
You'll be
behind it.
happy. Yahoo.
It'll look really good right there because when you come in, it's going to look right. It's going to look right at you on the road.
Okay.
Because the road, you're going to look right at it when you turn into the and it's before you start turning to head up the. So you'll face directly at it.
So one on Ironwood and a place on Whiskey.
Yep, and then Whiskey is basically right behind ours that currently is there. Looked like the best spot to put it.
Okay.
Thank
So
you,
can we
guys.
just go ahead and do it?
I
Rather than having to
get
come
with
back
Sean
at-
just to make
No,
sure.
they can do it. They
Okay.
can.
Oh, I just was saying just to make sure there's nothing there, but I would
There's
maybe
nothing there that you just gotta make sure you USA or make sure you do whatever's right.
call
So-
call USA. So 811
Oh, 811.
and paint the white marks just to have them mark the ground. That way, when you put the holes in, no one ever has an issue. But I can meet you on Ironwood and show you right where I was thinking. And the Whiskey Spring one's pretty easy. It's just about 20 feet behind our existing one. There's a little spot there, and,
Exactly. Yeah.
and I thought that because there's really not much other spots you going down that would be worth doing. It'd be right there. It'd be the best spot. So
Yeah.
Marty,
That's
thank
what
you
it's-
very much for putting that together.
Thank you.
yeah, no, and I apologize. I lost your number. I think I wrote it on one of the pages of our notes, and I can't find the note.
All right. Done with that.
Got my notebook now.
12A,
Thank you.
discussion and possible action regarding placement of GPS location devices for PVGID vehicles and road equipment. Action items may include a test period of up to 2 vehicles approved, approval up to 6 assets, or no action at this time. This is for possible action. And Robin and I talked about this. Again, what we're trying to do is come into the past 2026. And one of the things that I've heard is, we want transparency. Okay. So what is transparency? Okay. This is the idea in my head I had. Okay. You're on the website and there's a map and it's got maybe colored or whatever. And it says, this road was done then, you can click on it and it gives you all kinds of information or just the kind of stuff that people would like to see so they know what's going on. And here's the beauty of it. We find out what's going on because it's already collected as a database through the GPS. It's already programmed and software's there. It always goes in. You're eliminating a huge amount of management time to collect information and put it together. And when you develop a program and the software to do it, kind of like the AIs of today, maybe we'll get smarter and go ahead and implement that and see where we go and what we need to do to get the transparency that people I've heard. I want to know what's going on more. I want to know what's going on more. We're going to give that to you, but it's going to save money, not cost money, because we'll have the influence that give us the information and gets through the software and gets to what we need to know. And so that's kind of where I was thinking about. Go ahead, Robin.
Just for clarification, the public will not be able to look at the GPS system.
Oh,
There will
true.
be,
It's
there will be,
management
there will be
tool.
a report on the website. It will not be where the public can go in and watch where the trucks are and stuff
So I
like that.
still have to do an off report?
You'll still have to say what you did on, yes, yes, you will.
Honest? I thought I was getting out of that.
But you won't have to go into detail
No, I get it.
that,
I'm just teasing.
so.
We're trying to make life easier for everybody. And maybe not, maybe yes.
And we've also contacted Verizon and a couple of others, so a lot of them will let us do a trial run and see how it works. And they've told us that in the valley, it may not be beneficial. They're not sure because we have so many dead spots. But it would be a way to see, pull up the report and I can say, okay, Sean did all of this road. You can see where the grader
Well,
was.
you may not be able to get Quake and Aspen, but
Yeah,
things like that. I understand.
There's spots you
Well,
won't be able to
what
get on
about-
Quaking Aspen.
I mean, we have dirt roads. Does it say that you're driving recklessly because you're on a dirt road and it's just bumpy?
No, this is
Okay.
just basically locating where the equipment is at. It's
Sir, Ed Bliss, how much, first of all, I don't know how much that's gonna cost you, but we're out here, why do you want GPS out here? For the trucks and tractors and stuff? From experience, that stuff on rough roads, construction kind of stuff, it breaks. It doesn't last long, it doesn't hold up. So if you're gonna spend a lot of money on GPS, be prepared to spend on service on that stuff because it will break and it will, I don't know why you need it out here. I don't understand that, especially if he's making a report of what he does every day. So,
You're next, Tom.
Tom Baker, 2200 Right Hand Canyon. I'm all for the GPS systems. And I have a friend that has them on all his trucks. They're on these roads all the time and they do not break down. The only question I have is what makes you think that they won't be disabled like the security cameras are disabled instantly?
Well,
That's
The systems we ran in all our equipment, you couldn't disable. It set off an alarm if you
Yeah.
disabled it.
It has alerts that actually
I
will go
understand.
to whoever we choose
Yeah, you
to do
can't.
that.
If you monkey with it, it sets
Yeah.
an alarm off.
So let's just get to the, okay, sir, I'm sorry.
Do you guys have somebody, yeah, Dave Black, you guys have already set up or set with the GPS company, or you guys are looking?
No,
No.
we're just getting into it. This
Okay.
is a thought process that needs to develop.
If you guys did, just, I mean, I'm not on the board, but Dolan Auto Group and a lot of other stuff, Facebook, phone network, you one of them. They put a tracking system on every single vehicle sold, period.
Yeah.
And for 300 of them, I don't need that many, but for 300 of them, I don't know the software involved, but 300 of the units is $45,000.
Yeah,
For
so
300.
yeah.
That's hot.
I have the prices here,
Yeah,
what
okay,
I've
but
got.
it's just one that they use, I don't know, but that's something to look into, if you want somebody to look at and see, is any vehicle was sold to them has a tracking unit on it. And they go through it, I forgot what it's called, I can see that. But it's one that's worthy to look into, 'cause I know they do work, you can see how fast the vehicle's going, you can see with that. And that's how they track vehicles that are stolen, and it's off their lot.
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, the valley used to be very, very safe, but it isn't, we're being encroached on. It's not what it used to be.
Yeah, I just don't know, what it just
Well,
a
we're
suggestion for what company to use.
we're getting off.
Well,
on this one,
and yeah,
guys.
no, I think it's just to open the door. People, because we are a GID, we'll have to take bids.
Yes.
I mean, it'll have to be a bid, deal anyways, and then that way everyone else can see what, because there's gonna be options to it. I know with my experience, there's been a couple crappy ones I've been tied with, using over the years, and there's been one or two that were okay.
Mhm. Yeah, this is just to look into it.
I do appreciate you guys' comments, because it just raises flags about, okay, we gotta be aware of this and be aware of that. But if it saves Sean a bunch of time, and saves the GID a whole bunch of time, and it's more productive, so people are happy about seeing what's been done, then it's something that's productive for everybody, and we're gonna take a look at it. Don't guarantee anything, that we might come back and say it's a big bust, but we're just gonna look at it. And, let's see, for it has possible action, how much do we need to play this experiment?
Alternatives are on the last page.
Pardon me?
An example of what I've been talking about is the agenda item doesn't say what the action is.
You're right, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I think we should just leave it as a discussion item and move on.
Yeah.
Well, I did put it include a test period of up to 2 vehicles, and this is on the agenda item. Approval of up to 6 assets or no action at this
Yeah,
time.
but what is the action though that's gonna include the test period? I mean, it's.
Without no discussion first, we should, yeah.
If the word regarding was 2, so discussion of possible action to place GPS devices, then you'd have an action item.
Okay,
But just saying regarding it doesn't tell you what,
okay,
you can't
I-
tell what the action is supposed to be.
okay.
Oh, thank you, you're right, Mark,
So we'll bring this back next month.
that's fine.
Maybe when you bring it back.
We'll get better at this. You'll have
Yeah,
more
I
information.
just copied the originals when I started, so and I've improved on them, but this is,
We're doing great.
Okay, we'll table this item till next month.
You know, you can have a closed session with me too if you want.
okay.
Okay. That's good. Item 13, correspondence.
Okay, I had road requests for culvert cleaning on Rangeland Road, request for Grass Valley West, Rebel Cause Road sign, Yellowtail, and Right Hand Canyon. This is just for information
I
only.
understand, okay, so we don't do private driveway culverts, so that's.
Okay, I had that explained differently to me by trustee Dennis.
No,
We don't do
no,
culverts.
we don't.
in
We have a
right-of-way-
list of
We don't
accepted.
do culverts in the right of way of rangeland.
No, we do the one that crosses your road or underneath.
Yes.
That's the only one we do. We do not do
How do you
private
keep the
driveway.
drainage going elsewhere?
He-
Everywhere else, it's up to the property owner.
Well, and
We
I,
have a list of accepted culverts. Now, unless you want to change that, that's different.
okay, he says it's not on his property. It's not on
It's
his,
on his property.
It's on rangeland, it's in the right of way.
okay. well
But
then-
there is a board list of
Yes.
accepted culverts.
Thank
Okay.
you, Marty.
It's been.
I'll
Sorry.
catch up with you guys.
1980.
Sorry, but there is a board list of accepted culverts.
That may be something you guys want to look at. Anyway,
Because what happened was is people wanted the board to start replacing culverts
Uh-huh.
that got run over that were not part of the system.
Everything costs money.
Yep.
okay.
Okay, guys.
So I'm not done yet.
All right.
I had a public records request from Sunlight Access, which I forwarded to Angie because it was on purchases, so she'll do just a spreadsheet for them.
We do it every
Um,
year.
I heard from the Nevada Committee of Ethics. They're doing a candidates and campaign briefing. I sent it all out to all the people that are running. We had a report on a insurance claim filed with Pool Pack. I'm going to call them and find out what that's about. And then we got the credit card statements and the regular bills, and that's what we got.
Thank you.
And then I have the calendar. That's the next item.
Yeah, go ahead.
We will have a notice put in the paper for the tentative hearing on the budget. We have to do the last day for the quarterly economic survey for the third quarter. We have to remind the OM that he's going to have a performance review in June. And we're going to have the special meeting budget on the 21st. We don't have to have a special meeting because the 21st is when our normal meeting is, and it falls within the state's timeframe. So
Beautiful.
for the final budget, so we don't have to have a special meeting.
Good.
And that's what I got.
Thank you. Item 15, board members and staff items. Nothing, Todd. Okay.
Still working on the water rights stuff.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Do you need
I
this
have-
month's?
What's that?
Do you need this month's?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, no, I'm working on our usage. Gonna try to figure out our averages, see what water gets sold for, and go from there.
Thank you, Marty. Julie.
Just one thing. We talked about having a community meeting at last meeting. I met with some of our public who is helping me with this. And, we're potentially gonna have it on May 16th, which is a Saturday from 10 a.m. till noon. We're looking for a place to have it potentially here. I would like to make an appointment with you, Sean, and see the yard to see if that's a potential place that we can have it. Because
It's
I
not
know
ADA.
all of our constituents.
It's not ADA
Yeah,
anyway, so.
okay. Thank you, Julie. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We would like to have the candidates who are running for the GID board there to do a meet and greet and do a little, 3 or 5 minute, comment on who they are. And that's what I have. It'll be before the next meeting. So that's what we're
Yes,
working on.
but
Thank you,
it's not gonna be an official meeting, so.
So can't have, let's see,
No, it's just a
Can't have
community
more-
meeting.
2
Yes,
board
you can't
members
have,
at the
yeah.
meeting at the same time.
Depends on what is done at the meeting, or what happens at this thing. There's no deliberation or anything, you can be part of a social gathering.
Okay.
We just have to fill out the form for a possible quorum.
You just, yeah.
So you need possible quorum.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There
Yes,
may-
ma'am.
yeah.
So I was just gonna comment on the community
Got
meeting.
everything.
Jan Mortensen.
I'm
for the
sorry.
record.
I'm sorry.
I do have a little thing that I made up for Marty. And there's only gonna be 2 board members there, which would be you and Marty.
Okay.
Well, Julie.
Well, I'll have to.
Well, Julie doesn't have to do that. So, and then the rest go to.
What is it?
So we're trying to do a community meeting.
Politicking.
She's asking what that
There you
is.
go.
Yeah, so it's people that are,
People who are running for the board for the next board.
Yeah. This is about the community meeting you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna have candidates
Yeah.
hopefully come and
Public.
describe what their
Sure.
view is.
Politics.
But we're also
I'm
going
voting-
to
I'm running
ask
for this,
the
and
community
thank you
how
very
they want this GID to move forward.
we don't know.
So that's why the issue is.
Thank you, Jan.
I will.
Since the attorney did too. I'd like to 10
Board
times.
member staff items, I don't know if I want to add anything at all anymore, it's just getting. heated up. You want this on? Let's see, modernization and transparency improvement list. We talked about smartphones and, communications and real-time location data usage and emails and things like that. And we will be implementing things like this. And they're gonna have to go in front, since this is not on the agenda. It will come back to the board and we will then start thinking about how we want to operate, okay? Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
We gotta have public comment. One more public comment.
Tom, public comment.
Public comment.
Matters not related to this agenda, sir.
Wayne Mortensen for the record. So tonight I heard Sean Kelly talk about turnarounds. And he made statements that he doesn't do turnarounds because he was told by somebody that not to do turnarounds. Yet I provided to the board the easements that dedicate Yellowtail Road, including the turnaround, back in 1975. I do not own the easement. I do not own the turnaround. I cannot do it. I would like the board to make a legal determination as to whether or not that turnaround should be maintained. And if it is not to be maintained, as Sean Kelly has inaccurately said, I don't understand, Sean. You don't really understand easements or the
I know,
importance of it.
I'm sorry.
You don't.
Let's pick, wait a minute, I got an
And
idea.
I
I
need,
got an idea. We
Okay.
can look at your easement. You said it was 1975?
yes,
This board wasn't, the GID wasn't implemented until 76. So I'm trying to figure
the
out
easements
first.
were granted in 75,
Okay.
76, and
You
77.
know better than I do. Okay, thank you.
I provided all the information you need.
Mhm.
Sean Kelly is making a decision that is counter to the legal definition this board has accepted. Yes, you are, Sean. And I need the board, and I'm glad the attorney is here, because this is not correct. So either the resolution needs to be made that this GID does not do turnarounds and include the 34 turnarounds that are part of this valley, or Sean Kelly needs to start doing turnarounds. I really don't understand this. This request was put in 9 months
This is
ago.
public comment only. Public comment.
This was put in 9 months ago, this request. I have absolutely received nothing from this individual. No communication whatsoever. He goes radio
Don't communicate
silent.
with the public. That's what she.
Don't argue, please. It's public comment.
My bad.
He says nothing, absolutely nothing. That is not okay. I don't know what kind of behavior changes you are expecting out of this individual, but his behavior has gone right back to the way it's been within the term of this meeting. This is not okay.
Understand. Thank you for your comment. All I can do. Any other comments before we adjourn? Todd, your turn.
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you very
Can
much.
you give me a time?
Everybody coming here tonight. This was a big,
8:02.
8:03.
long meeting.
I'm gonna go with 8:03. Is that the bid?
Well,
Yep, you'll have to put in the last numbers. This is the contract.